heart of our spiritual life is integrity, and integrity means to be clear. When we are clear, our life is clear. When we are confused, our life is confused. How can it be different to this? So integrity is important. It is integrity that will keep us facing in the right direction and not being confused by what life and different situations in life can offer to us. The Tao Te Ching tells us that the path is straight, but people love to be sidetracked. And that being sidetracked can be a huge distraction from our goal. We have to understand, what is our goal? Why do we do this? Why are we making this spiritual practice? Why do we sit in meditation? Why do we go to monasteries? Why do we listen to Dharma talks? Now, if our answer is, well, it's to be free, then we have to stay on this straight path. We have to stay with the practice as it has been given to us. This extremely simple, although very difficult practice of living with love and being aware. And to do that, to stay on this path, we need integrity. Because we're always being offered distractions from that, even if that distraction is an academic or intellectual approach to Dharma. That can be really fascinating for people, because very often the meditation becomes boring. This Dharma path doesn't excite us as it used to do when we first began it, when we were first learning different practices of meditation, of vipassana, of loving kindness. And so an academic or intellectual appreciation of Dharma does not really help us if we're not doing the practice to support that. Having an academic or intellectual appreciation of karma, for example, does not help us if our life doesn't change, if we still find ourselves doing the same things over and over and over. An intellectual or academic appreciation of fire does not help us if we continue to put our hand in the flame. So the most important thing is to keep that integrity that will bring us to our cushion, to make us do our meditation, to see this mind, to see these thoughts, moods, feelings and emotions, to see everything that arises, passes away, and in fact is not us, it's not what we are. They're just clouds that move through our sky. And once we begin to understand this, then our life changes. We don't have to change, but our life changes by itself. But still, we meet difficulties. We meet different moments where we have to remind ourselves to be clear about what we want, to be clear about what we're doing. Many years ago, I had a student, a young woman, who decided that she would become a vegetarian. And it was not so popular in those days. But she became a vegetarian, and she telephoned her parents to say, well, this is my big news, mother and father, I'm not eating meat anymore. And that was fine. It was a bit strange, but they accepted it without any difficulties on the telephone. Some weeks later, she went to visit them for Sunday lunch. And Sunday lunch in the United Kingdom traditionally is roast beef and potatoes and gravy and many, many things like this. And when she arrived at the table, her mother gave her a plate, and on the plate was a huge piece of meat. And the daughter said, but mother, I told you, I'm a vegetarian now. And the mother said, oh, you can eat this. We won't tell anyone. Now this is a moment to remember our integrity, to be clear about what we want and what we don't want, even if we think, well, it will be much easier to compromise something. It would be much easier to negotiate by principles, not to upset someone else or not to make someone else's life a little bit more difficult. But with loving kindness, we can explain our situation gently, carefully, lovingly, considerately. We can explain what we want and what we don't want, and not be pulled into some delusions from the minds of other beings. Integrity always means that we stand alone. We have to wake up in the morning and remind ourselves, what is the goal of my day? What is it that I'm trying to do with my life? And if the goal of our life, the goal of our practice is to be liberated, then we have to return to this place of integrity, of being aware and of being loving, and of using life itself as the movement, as the vehicle for the whole of our spiritual practice. So the Dhamma is always simple. Live with love and be aware. So in your life, be aware. And in your meditation, go deep. And in your love, give everything. And may you all be well and happy. And I thank you.